Sports. It's time for the big action.
This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. The Knicks happy to return to New York after the road trip. This is their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They'd like to change that now.
And in their two matchups last season, they came up empty both times. Not really too shocking when you see how they fared overall.
Exactly. I mean, if you lose as much as they did last year, you'll get beat by teams that aren't playoff powers for sure.
All right, let's set the fourth. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Minnesota. Ball out there with Anderson. Then it's Pierce. Then it's Stoudemire. And it's Reed in the center position. Houdini passes to Griffin. The 9-foot shot. And that one comes up a bit short. And Minnesota has possession.
Well, I know last year the Knicks seemed to me to be very passive offensively, and that can sometimes be the case when you're trying to learn the triangle offense, but they never seem to attack the rim at all.
Here's Cousins. Reed with the steal. It's good from Paul Pierce on the assist by Anderson. Pierce has got his first points of the game.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to get him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
As you mentioned, the Knicks very shy of going to the rim last year. Really could have used that dynamic among a lot of things to their game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, think about this. The Knicks were last in the league in drives per game as a team. And so they struggled shooting when they did attack the ring, only 42%. So those areas have to improve if this team wants to become competitive.
The pass to Fox. It's stolen by Stoudemire. And wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
And the basket good.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Clark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with their passing.
Here's Griffin. Looking to end for one. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a three-point play. That one is on Stoudemire.
Forget about finesse and agility. This big fella is all about power and force.
You play? You online?
Yeah.
Get the camera on, cuz?
A couple stars in the league.
Oh, you played that day?
Interviews, he's engaged. Comes off kind of as a regular guy.
That's the way it appears to me, Kevin. The young man has his head screwed on pretty tight and both feet on the ground. He started out as a flash act, and he stayed there.
Stoudemire kicks to Paul. It's Pierce on the wing. One on the clock. And that one is hammered home.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there? It just gets to the rack really easy. And talking about Blake Griffin, one of the more well-liked players in our league, but also one of the most teed-up players, top 5 in the league for the past 4 seasons. He's been ejected from several games as well.
Stolen by Anderson. Fast break, Minnesota. Anderson with the ball. Here's Fox. New York, no good that time either.
Oh, nice play on D. Got that hand in the face and prevented him there from getting an easy look.
Exactly. Alert and aware. Really reacted quickly to that shot attempt.
And Paul gets it to go in.
And, you know, getting back to Griffin, it's hard to stay grounded in this league. All the money, endorsements, ad campaigns, commercials, and so forth, that stuff can take you off track. But I think he's going to be grounded and maintain his focus going forward.
Just 5 on the clock. To the middle. Here's Cousins. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
Tell you what, Kevin, they'd love to see him get a lot more of those opportunities.
But that deficit will go away quickly if he does.
And how about how he capped that one out? Almost like the 1-2 punch.
Stoudemire, the screen. To the paint. Griffin with the steal. One-on-one fast break. Here's Kuzi. Off target from outside. For the New York Knicks, they come into this one. Lost to the Celtics in Boston.
And really, these teams don't even look like they belong on the same court today.
I don't think they do, based on what we've seen, a double-digit lead, and we're still in the first. Ouch. That's painful.
Now, here's Cousins. No good.
Get the fuck out of here.
Defense from Reed. Paul outside. Reed a screen. 1 second left. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. But Timberwolves on top. They lead by 11. The second. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Timberwolves team out there.
You know, they're not going to sit back and just take jump shots. It's all about attacking the paint and getting to the rim.
That's who they are. They've been the aggressor early, attacking the hoop and getting into that paint.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. So I like this time out here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
Yeah, I think he just sees some things that can be improved and wants to get everybody back on the same page.
And usually that, to me, is a good use of the timeout. I mean, if there's something that he's noticed that can give his team a lift, I think he's got to try to take advantage of that.
Here's Davis. On the court for the Timberwolves as our second quarter is underway. They've got Nene. Tony Kukoc is out there with Hayward. That's Rajon Rondo. And it's Scott in the 2. And it's Malone finishing it off.
How come my game lagging so hard?
On the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
Rondo shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for 2. Rondo's got the lead up to 11 now for the Timberwolves. It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right. Davis, the best to Van Exel. And Malone with the stuff.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Jags last season had a lot of problems here in Manhattan, and it showed all over the floor, Greg. And you played for this team. You know what it's like to play basketball in New York. Not a good record for them at home last year.
How about finishing 10-31 here and playing in front of a sold-out crowd every night? And one thing about New York, they're going to let you know when they're displeased. Worst home record in the East and second worst home record in the league.
Davis is checked in for New York. Prince comes in for Fox. There's the pick. Hayward dishes to Scott. No good. So New York will take it the other way.
And, you know, for the Knicks, there were a lot of reasons why they were bad at home. Bottom 5 in field goal percentage, against at home field goal defense, and third worst field goal percentage at home in the league.
He dishes it to Rondo. Just 5 to shoot. Hayward right side. Lets it fly. Timberwolves keep it alive. It's stolen by Davis. And here they come. It's tipped. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Nene. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Tony Kukoc. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Prince against Mayo. And that one is hammered home.
And if that doesn't get him fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg just at the top drawer ordered us some high-flying annex to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Rondo drives in. Good. Hayward's got his first points in this one.
And you know, commend the Knicks faithful. They still would sell this place out. And you have to give a shout out to the fans for sticking through what was a very difficult year. At least it has to get better.
Rondo with it. Picked up by Davis. Mayo kicks to Rondo. Hayward is screen on Davis. There's the dish to Hayward. Shot clock at 5. Nene.
And a few more points tacked on to their lead and in the cruelest way possible.
Those putback jams sting, don't they, my goodness?
Yeah, they really hurt you. I mean, the defense forces a miss and then can't rebound it and finish off the defense. They're hanging their heads in their chest now.
Davis again. Rondo. The kick out to Scott. Hayward outside. It's good from long range. Hayward's got 5 points now this quarter.
And really, it looks like he may just try to take this thing over on his own and really build that lead up. And, you know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just one basket away from winning it all.
New York calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Sanders is checked in.
You know, he's not your typical NBA center in terms of height, guys, but he plays as big as any of them, thanks to his incredible responsibility.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more. Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his school the championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him, willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays, he is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close just due to his strength and activity.
Nene, he's checked in for Larry Sanders. For Griffin and his ability to create contact close. He's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward. But that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
Man, I got to pick my jaw off the floor after that one.
And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for the Timberwolves?
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also, they've been really active on the defensive end in terms of applying pressure and coming away with steals.
Shooting much better here in the second quarter.
Yes, very, very impressed with how much more alive they look here to get back in.
Mayo with his screen on Griffin. Hayward passes to Mayo. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Mayo's got himself on the board with 3 there.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. It's really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up. Cutting into the lead with a huge one-hand throwdown.
That's how to get your team back into it.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, guys, that might also put a little spark into those guys.
And we finished one half of basketball. Timberwolves lead by 11. We'll take a quick break, then get you back to the action. And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. Gordon Hayward with another strong contribution so far in this one.
And in terms of points in that first half, you know, he's now at a point where we expect him to perform that way.
And, Greg, that tells you all you need to know about what a talent he is. I mean, I'll bet he adds a lot more to his totals after the break.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he's got 8 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more.
Griffin is out there with Fox. Then there's Dumars. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. And it's Houdini at the point guard position. That's the 5 for New York right now. Here's Pierce, the 10-footer. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
And last season, really a tale of 2 halves for the Wolves. When Ricky Rubio returned from injury, they just looked so much more in sync as a team.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Here's Griffin. And easy 2 points on the layup. Griffin's got 7. Well, the Wolves improved just very slightly last year in terms of wins, but the quality of play on the floor, though, was visible.
Yeah, you know, the team's point differential was a lot better with Rubio in the lineup. They did have some big wins over quality teams, and Rubio's impact was certainly noticeable.
Third quarter of basketball, about a minute and a half in. Houdini passes to Dumars. Misses the
nigga, make that shit.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
But they recover it. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks will take it the other way.
Well, I tell you guys, when you look at this Wolves team, I mean, the outlook is really bright. A lot of young talent that's fitting together nicely. Good skill set. I think this group could be one to watch and really good going forward.
So for the Timberwolves last year, Greg kind of traded into the top overall pick, getting the Wiggins deal, which means 2 consecutive years of having #1. They're beginning to put together the ingredients.
I think they have a core to ultimately be formidable when you talk about that Western Conference. And to pick up Zach LaVine in that same draft, that was a nice selection as well. And don't discount what Flip Saunders brings to the table in terms of coaching and teaching these young players.
Here's Stoudemire. Gets some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Stoudemire's got 6.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Stoudemire, the screen. A drive by Paul. And that one's good. 11 points in the game.
And an open path to the hoop there. Easy bucket. We've seen that far too many times today. I tell you what a good thing that he showed up today, because without him, this thing would already be over.
Releases. It's rebounded by New York.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
Dunk on this bitch ass.
Almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D, just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
And Anderson kicks to Stoudemire. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Stoudemire's got 8 points. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
Got to find something, you're right.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass. And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today. Chris Paul, guys, for the last decade, the best point guard in the NBA. Now, there's some new competition for that distinction, though, with Steph Curry breaking through to NBA stardom. And it's always exciting to watch these two go head-to-head.
Oh, I can't shoot now. No
Bounds as the Knicks gain possession.
Oh, he playing old boy.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
Minnesota making some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Reed. Scott comes in for Anderson. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Chris Paul. Prince in the corner.
Man.
Stolen by Nene. And they're pushing it up. And Paul Pierce with the slam.
Yeah,
well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Minnesota. Stolen away and pushing it up. Here's New York. Griffin's shot is off.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And they're giving themselves extra possessions and have taken advantage of it. And that's critical. You can shoot a few lesser percentage if you're getting more opportunities at the rim.
5 to shoot. And Hayward gets it to go.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
A three-pointer off the mark. New York's getting blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. That's good. And that's 10 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
And the shooting has really been there for him. He may have to take it upon himself to continue to carry this team and try and get out of this hole.
Off the screen. And the rejection by Cousins. And here's Prince outside. Off target with that shot. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead. And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Minnesota leading by 20. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the fourth. They've got Anderson. Read out there with Stoudemire. And there's Byron Scott. And it's Rondo in at the 1. A 3 from Anderson. And the foul on Amari Stoudemire. That'll be his second foul of the game. Fox, he's checked in for the Knicks. Dumars comes in for Van Exel. O.J. Mayo is checked in for Minnesota. Stoudemire with the defensive foul. Rondo dishes to Reed. And he goes in for the dunk.
Rondo, a master at setting up teammates.
They double team Griffin. A pass to Fox. A 3-ball. And good on the basket. Book it.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the thing.
Rondo passes to Anderson. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Feeds it to Dumars. For 3. And Cousins kicks to Dumars. Goes back up. Eyes yet again. And no problem from Cousins as he finishes at the rim.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
The feed now to Mayo. He kicks it to Stoudemire. Shot clock at 6. And plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. Last season ended with the Knicks pretty much packing it in, but Clark, it didn't start out that way.
You know what? Not at all. I mean, the Knicks were picked by many, Kevin, to be a playoff team last season. Clearly, things did not go as planned.
Pierce is checked in for Minnesota. Ball comes in for Rajon Rondo.
And it became clear, thinking about the Knicks again. I mean, it made sense for a team with injuries and being in disarray on the floor to just battle for that lottery. Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Paul dishes to Anderson. Here's the pass to Anderson. Offensive rebound. Reed. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
Yeah, and the other thing that they've done well is they've really attacked the gaps of the defense with quick, decisive drives down the lane.
Pass to Fox. Outside Griffin. From outside the arc. This ball grabs the miss.
You know, kind of packing it in for the sake of being better in the future. Can possibly work in New York for a year or 2, but not longer than that. The media will eat you up there if you don't start making some progress towards winning, pleasing basketball.
And that one's good.
And after a scoreless first half, you're starting to see signs of life in the second.
Got a piece of it. Stolen by Anderson. Paul kicks to Reed. Pierce with it. And Griffin picks him up defensively.
What? What time I'm gonna go to work? She just left.
Stoudemire with a screen on Fox. Anderson dishes to Stoudemire. And stolen by Cousins. Kicks it to Dumars. Here's Houdini. 5 to shoot. On deep. Can't hit. Good work defensively by Paul. Stoudemire outside. Back to Paul. To the inside. And the dunk by Reed.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
Passes it to Griffin. Here's Houdini, defended by Paul. And taken away by Paul. He feeds it to Anderson.
Well, it seems like this is something we've said quite a bit the last few years, but now we really feel like we're in a golden age for point guards. So many point guards on so many teams are the leaders and best players on their team. You can name a dozen all-star level point guards in the league right now.
Whole new look on the floor for Minnesota. Scott can't get it to go.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Timberwolves.
In the end, they had a better shooting percentage, and that's what made the difference. Sometimes, you know, Clark, things go your way. The other team wasn't catching many lucky breaks themselves.
Well, it's more than luck, Kevin.
I can't hear nothing you just said.
And this one will go down as win number 3.
Yeah.
And when you play a team twice like these two will this season, always nice to win the first one as they'll go up 1-0 in the season series against the Knicks.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance. He was extremely efficient offensively, got good looks, and really knocked down big shots all game long.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
To illustrate just how strong the point guard position is right now, Greg, in the NBA, just take a look at the point guards who did not make the All-Star team a season ago. Wow.
You know, in both conferences, it's almost as if we're in the midst of a point guard renaissance for the NBA. I mean, MVP Steph Curry, Russell Westbrook, CP3 out west, John Wall, Kyrie Irving in the East. Boy, I could go on and on with the great players at that position.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game. And then Okafor slams it in.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
And so it's the Timberwolves taking care of business here. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance.